Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Face2Face here on the EKN Radio Network YouTube page. Not so much the radio network. We did a pod. Oh, I'm getting echo in here. Let me go like this. There we go. Well, that was a rookie move. I had the YouTube open on the other side. I haven't done one of these yet this year. This is the first one for 2021. Thank you so much for joining us again, folks. This is a great way to start off the new season. Something a little bit different here for Face2Face because we're into racing season now. We had our first event for the EKN Trackside Live Series, the first two races, the first at Homestead with Supercarts USA and the Winter Series. Then I trekked west with David Cole for the Challenge of the Americas opener. Well, I decided, hey, you know what? Let's get a couple of the guys that did really well in that opener out in Phoenix, Arizona, and we'll bring them on, and we'll kind of have it's kind of like a debrief, a face-to-face debrief. But the bottom line is we're going to get a couple of racers on here to join us to kind of wrap up that first weekend at Phoenix as part of the Challenge of the Americas. So joining me right now, I'm going to bring them on the show here. We've got Remo Ruscitti and we've got Letzsch. Guys, how are you?
Good, Rob. Thanks for having me.
Good, thank you.
Good. Our audio works good. Now that I've got things dialed in, I was getting a double hit there. I don't know if you guys heard that or not. I had the YouTube open, so there's about maybe a 10-second delay as I was hearing everything. I'm surprised David Cole didn't drop me a line already to rip in on me. That would be normally a David move. Guys, first off, thanks for joining us here. We'll start, Remo, with you. Amazing weekend for you, for sure, out of the gate. And really, all the guys at Italia Motors were pretty quick. Michael Valiente was fast as well, of course, in the Masters class. Michael Gouache was unbelievably quick as well. But, dude, you came out of the gate super strong when we went official racing. You topped all 6 sessions on the weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, from qualifying on. I mean, practice seemed a little bit tighter.
Yep.
And then it just kind of took off, and we just had some momentum rolling, and everything was just working really good. So good start to the year for us and the brand. And
yeah, great to have Italia Motors there with the ITEL kart chassis. You guys had a lot of them there. There was a good number of ITEL karts. Did you roll off the trailer well? You talked about the fact that it was a bit tight on practice on Friday. Did you feel you were close? Did you have to take any big swings to get the kart to where you wanted it on Saturday morning?
Yeah, no big swings. I think the transition to this new Levanto tire is a benefit for us.
Yeah.
The Bridgestone was quite difficult for us to get up to speed. I know a lot of people put a lot of development into the go-kart with that tire. So just kind of a fresh start from us, not on our back foot as we showed up a couple of years ago in Las Vegas with the Bridgestone. And just in general, that's good for us. And then just having Michael there with me, also driving a lot of the weekends has just been me trying to develop through the weekend and, going against some of these teams that are, like Gary's team with, multiples of drivers in the class, being able to develop the go-kart throughout the weekend a little bit quicker. So that was really, really helpful for our program.
So Remo was, of course, able to win both the races in all 6 sessions in the senior shifter rock class. A question for you, though, Remo. You guys obviously at Italia Motors in the Pacific Northwest have some time on the LeConte tire. Do you have a feel for the differences between the LeConte itself and the LeConte-made Levanto? Yeah,
so I guess Levanto and LeConte obviously very close, being built in the same factory. But only new this winter was like a newer brand or newer compound of the tire. So and personally, me of late, I've strictly been racing on the Bridgestone in terms of developing the tire home so that when we go to the race. So Michael's definitely driven the newest LeConte more than I have, but in previous years, WR has been super supportive of us and me. So I have a decent amount of knowledge with the tire and just operating temperatures and pressures. So out of the gate, a little bit simpler for us to get up to speed. We actually never tested the tire prior to the weekend.
Really?
For our first time driving on it. I guess the Levanto, but obviously very close. So we had a good understanding of where we wanted to be. But good start for us, and I think good swing and momentum for us and where we're going to go with it.
Yeah, most definitely. I think a very impressive run. We'll come back and talk more about that a little bit. Let's go to Liam Letzsch right now. I kept calling it kind of a career breakout weekend for you, Liam, because we've watched you race over the last number of years. But, dude, you won 3 main events over the 100cc senior, which was 31 drivers. That was big. And then, of course, you also won one of the races in the senior ROK category. Just give me a little bit coming into the weekend. Did you feel like you had momentum? Was the testing you guys had done? I know you run with Kristen Bird Motorsports. Did you feel like you had a really good momentum coming into the weekend?
Yeah, we had a lot of good like team test weekends at Phoenix, which was really cool. We had at least 2 or 3 there, and I think that really helped me a lot, just to being on the Levanto tire before, kind of knowing coming into what it was going to be like, because it really seemed like the tire didn't put down a whole lot of grip like you see the Rincos do. So yeah, I think having that, like being there before and seeing what the track was going to do when more karts were there, was really helpful to us. And
that's it, right? You can do as much testing as you want, but depends on how much rubber goes down, especially when you have so many karts, all total 130 entries that weekend. When was there a time on Friday when you said, hey, you know what? I could probably win a couple of races here. Did you have confidence on Friday?
We were really confident with our with the setup and engine and stuff like that, and the driving was definitely there. But we never gave up trying to get faster, and we continually got faster throughout the weekend through the qualifying sessions and the heat races.
Yeah.
And we never never tried to stay where we were, always improving.
That's the way to do it. Overall, did you feel like the track kind of stayed the same throughout the entire weekend? I know one of the issues, of course, you battled with Blake Nash in one of the races on Saturday.
Yeah.
He wasn't there to fight you on Sunday because he didn't qualify well. What was everything pretty much the same for you guys? Do you feel like Sunday morning was weird, obviously, because of the rain? We should bring that up a little bit. But overall, from Friday to Saturday, do you feel like the tracks was kind of the same?
Yeah, I think it was pretty close. I think in the last session on Friday, the long pre-qualifying session, and versus qualifying on Saturday, I think we might have went 2 or 3 tenths quicker.
Okay.
And it was a little bit cleaner on the morning, and engines were running good just kind of earlier in the morning, but relatively it was pretty close.
Not many drivers doing double duty. You obviously ran both the senior ROK and the 100cc senior. Do you feel like that? Did it give you, I hate to use the word advantage because it's a lot of extra track time, but going back and forth between the different equations makes it a little tougher. But do you feel that maybe you got a good feel for the tires and the track going back and forth and getting that much track time?
Yeah, I think like a big thing with the senior ROK is it has so much, it works the tire so hard lateral wise.
Okay. And
you could really see how much grip it could actually take. And I think like as a team, I know Macy Williams doing the same thing as me with the double duty and same classes. And I think it benefited both of us a lot.
What about, well, I guess you're young, so it wouldn't hurt you that much, but double duty is putting a lot of wear and tear on your body. We end up getting wet there on Sunday morning. That took a bit of pressure off that. You didn't qualify in senior ROK, did you?
I didn't qualify in senior, and I didn't go out in the 100cc warm-up when it was wet either.
Wet. Okay. All right. Overall, what were your thoughts about the Sunday race? You didn't have Blake there to battle you. You were in really good shape on Sunday.
Yeah, in the 100cc, like Blake and I was kind of a 2-driver fight on Saturday in the final. And so I think that was some added confidence on Sunday to know that we're able to hopefully break away from the pack. And I know with the Ks, the draft is huge. So it was a little bit surprising that we were able to get away, but it was awesome. It couldn't have went better for me.
Hey, so you get a big win, the wins on Saturday. Was there any extra added pressure on Sunday for you?
A little bit, like since I hadn't ran in the wet really at all weekends, when we had some like delays and stuff before the final on Sunday for K, it was like that time of thinking, am I going to be good enough?
Yeah, right.
And so that was a little bit more stressful. I was very confident in the dry after all day Sunday, and then going up to the wet, not exactly sure where I was going to be. Just knew I had to push and do as best I can with the circumstances.
That's it. Let's go back to Remo. One of the things about this racetrack, Remo, is there are passing opportunities, and it's tougher to shifter. I think you can drive it it's so deep into these corners, even Daytona and then the off-camber turn 11. But when the field is so close, that's why it makes it so tough to pass, right? Because if you can get out of turn 8 strong and get down the back straightaway, did you feel like did you set the gearing up at all to potentially know that you were leading to keep guys at bay at certain parts of the racetrack?
Yes and no. I mean, it was kind of a track where I found that the gear ratio was very in between.
Okay.
In a lot of areas, but say in the pre-finals, most definitely just kind of more so parking it. And I think we talked about this on Thursday night when you showed up. That I think I figured it was going to be a very big tire management kind of weekend.
And
so in the pre-finals, I mean, for me myself. I was trying to be really, really gentle on the tire and dropping the pace. I don't know, sometimes almost half a second off of what I felt that the track could do.
Okay, really?
And I guess maybe everybody else was doing something similar because, Kyle was staying at bay behind me. Only really gave me one time throughout the one of the pre-finals that he was gonna, try to make a move on me.
Yep.
But it was we were dropping almost a second in almost a 40-lap run on the tire there. So that was my biggest worry throughout the whole weekend. But I knew that if I would get off certain corners, that's typically the shifter cart way. If you could get off the hairpin well, I found that if you were getting runs on people up through towards the kink, you'd kind of get bogged up and checked up through the kink because you guys are going to enter the same speed. So then you kind of lose your opportunity to pass into the Daytona Bowl. And then,
that's true. Yep.
And then essentially just parking it in the next hairpin after Daytona, and you're kind of out of options throughout the rest of the corner. So I knew qualifying would be quite important in terms of track position through the whole weekend. So I kind of threw a couple laps down that got I guess I would say lucky, but Sunday was a bit more of making sure you perform when you need to.
That's it.
Just continually going quicker.
Let's talk about Sunday. You were able to go to a pretty good lead. I'll come back to Liam a bit this too, because we'll talk about the weather, but the rain that came with you guys with like 2 laps to go. We're watching it come, and all of a sudden, all we saw was all you shifter guys full opposite lock. I know you went 4 wheels off, if I'm not mistaken, through the kink, did you not?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think when that happened? Did you figure it was over? Or?
The whole race, you could see like light droplets coming on your visor.
Okay.
So it was expected, but the track was staying quick.
Yeah.
And then I think everybody told me I literally crossed the line before the white flag with 1 second remaining.
1 second.
So we got an added lap, which ended up being the chaos lap for a lot of people. But I saw this big lead, and you always talk about when you try to relax and just kind of bring it home, you almost lose the focus.
Make mistakes.
And those conditions are really one of my favorites. Dry tires with wet track. It's how I grew up coaching and learning when I was younger, and literally coaching like that through the winter right now up in Canada. But so I guess I maybe just that little bit of less focus, and it fired right off the track. And I actually felt like I had more grip on the dirt, because when I looked at the lap times at the end of the race, I didn't really lose that much time to Kyle on the last lap. So, obviously ended up working out well for us, but I know it caused a lot of chaos behind me.
That was funny. Liam, you were kind of lucky because you kind of were at the start. The one class was I think second or third on the order. The other one was at the very last. So did you really have, in the main event, did you have any wet running?
So in Senior Rock, it wasn't wet at all.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, and then KA, we had enough time to have wet tires, so obviously that made a huge difference.
There you go. Yeah. All right. So, hey, listen, let's go forward. Let's look forward to not 2021 first. Let's do a quick for both of you. Let's talk about Cal Speed. Liam, we'll start with you. You come in with a ton of momentum. You're point leading in 2 of the categories, both Senior Rock and 100cc Senior. What's Fontana for you? Is that a track that you like? Are you fast there? Do you feel like your momentum is going to play right into what you need to do to get a couple more results to try to win this championship?
Yeah, I think so. We've been really had a really good start to the season so far, and right around New Year's time, we raced there with a similar configuration with the clockwise, and it went quite well. I think that was the first time I've ever driven that way, and we ended up 4th or something in LAKC.
All right.
So I think having that will be definitely helpful, and that was in the KA class.
Nice. Remo, what about you? The team coming down. I know you guys were there last year. Is that a track you like, Cal Speed?
Yeah, it was a tough weekend for us last year.
It was.
Maybe just not being fully prepared like we are now. We are planning to go. I'm sure I know you're aware it's becoming a little bit more difficult for us in terms of going down to the States. But hopefully things don't change anymore for the worse for us, because obviously we want to come. And it's unfortunate because we could have, probably 10, or not, I wouldn't say 10, but maybe, half a dozen shifter car drivers that would be running in the class with me.
Yeah.
Right now it's only the 2 of us in the senior category. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely dependent on this whole border situation with
Indeed.
the two differences.
Let's talk about, well, I'll come back and ask Liam the same questions. Let's wrap things up. Let's ask about 2021. What do you got going, Remo? I know, Liam's early in his career. You've made the move to some car racing and had some great success in car racing. I know you're focused on that. You're, a driver coach. You've got Catalyst driver development with your partners there too. Give us a little overview of what's going on karting wise for you and professionally in terms of car racing and doing everything you do with Catalyst.
Yeah. So, 2021 in terms of karting, obviously we're trying to go towards all the challenge races. I'd like to be in Florida Winter Tour as well. It seems like there's a lot of competition over there. Maybe for next year, we're pretty committed to this whole ROK program in terms of supporting whether it's Andy or doing some of the rock fests that are supposed to be coming up.
Yep.
And then of course Vegas, and then just for our brand and everything down here, hoping the regional series and supporting a lot of our customers that are down here in Canada. For the meantime, in terms of car racing, obviously it's a little bit quieter than I would like it to be. Some of that is also hinging on this border opening in terms of some of the teams that I've raced for, going over to the border. But it's a tough deal in terms of when you're not there. It's obviously very easy to be forgotten about.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind, right?
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. It's funny. My last professional car race is Spa 24 hours. It's just like it's tough in terms of that. So it's definitely on my radar to get back, and always pushing to be there, and whichever aspect, whether that's developing our program Catalyst into a professional car racing program, or obviously the opportunities that I've had to resurface and hopefully get back into the scene where I know that I'm quite capable of being.
Yeah, I think you showed everybody at Phoenix again the skills that we've been able to watch you display over the last number of years. It was a great run for you. Liam, let's give you an opportunity. Let's talk about 2021, what your plans are, and let's give a shout out as well. I know you're a Colorado boy, working with Christian Bird Motorsports. You can give a little shout out for Christian as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been working with him since I was kid karts, 5 years old.
It's been your whole career?
Yeah.
I love that. All right, so go. What's 2021 look like for you?
I think so we're obviously doing the rest of the challenge series, and the whole team will be there. With the rock festivals, I'm sure we'll do those once those dates get announced. And then maybe looking at some SCUSA stuff as well, and definitely be there for Rock to Rio, and potentially Supernats. See how that all folds out this year.
So let's talk about you and Christian Bird. Obviously, he's been with you for a long time. I remember when he was a kid, almost your age. So so he's been growing up in the sport for quite a number of years. Tell me about the relationship with Christian and how that whole program is kind of growing. Because man, not only was it a good weekend for you, but it was a really good weekend for CB Motorsports as well.
Yeah, definitely. We have a really strong connection. Ricky Luther is my mechanic, and him and Christian are great friends, and just it works really well, the dynamic. And me and Christian have such a great relationship. It's like he's my brother. Now we've been with each other forever, and it's really great to work with someone that you really care about and know everything about.
So here's a question for you. Both Luther and Bird are both shifter kart guys, ex-shifter kart guys. Have you gotten a shifter kart yet or what? You got to go battle with Remo.
Yeah, I've driven one, but haven't raced.
All right. Is potentially, could we see that happen in 2021?
I'm not sure about 2021, maybe in the future, but I want to take this year to get into some car tests and figure out what kind of the best pathway for me getting into cars is.
How old are you now anyways, Liam? 17. All right. And Remo, how old are you?
That's funny because I had multiple people tell me I was an old man.
Listen, an old man kicking everybody's ass in senior shifter.
I'm about to turn 27.
There you go. So Liam, you got lots of time till you have to start winning challenge races in shifter.
Right.
Remo, hey buddy, I appreciate you joining me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Liam, great to have you on here. I got a feeling that we could be talking a lot more in the future as well, but I really appreciate you joining me. Thank you, bud.
Yeah, thank you. That'd be awesome.
We'll drop these guys to the back. Guys, take care. I'll wrap things up here, folks. Two amazing drivers, different places in their career, right? We've been watching Remo Ruscitti come up through the ranks to the mid 2000s. And again, a tremendous driver and one of those guys that an educator as well, a coach, really well-spoken young man. He and the Catalyst driver development with Scott Hargrove and Stefan Rudzinski, their program there is really growing, which is great. Liam, a young kid just getting into his own here in the senior categories, was one of the dominant drivers at the challenge race at Phoenix. I'll look forward to seeing him be fast at Cal Speed as well. And he's talking about going to cars too. So that's a conversation I'm sure he and I will have further on down the line. But I do appreciate it, folks. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here on the EKN YouTube channel. It's something we're going to do more and more of throughout the season. We do appreciate you joining us, folks. Thank you so much. My name is Rob Howden. Book it.